Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I welcome you all to the lecture number 6 for the course of communication technology. My name is Engineer Jafar Ali and I'm instructor for this course. The last time we discussed about the amplitude modulation and we discussed about the theoretical part of the amplitude modulation, that how does this amplitude modulation actually works. And I promise you that I will be doing some numericals and some problems on this amplitude modulation in this lecture. In this lecture, we are going towards some numerical problems that are involved when you come and talk about this amplitude modulation. So we will be discussing all the parameters and different techniques that we will be using in amplitude modulation with proper examples. So this is our today's activity, that we will be covering some numerical examples on amplitude modulation. So before starting the problems, you have to look that there are several important formulas that you need to learn before going towards the numericals portion. So there are approximately 9 or 10 formulas that are shown to you over here, and it is very much good for you to remember these formulas, because you are going to need these in the coming examples. So let's get start with the first example, and let's see what's it's asking about. So for an amplitude modulation, amplitude of the modulating signal is 0.5 and the carrier amplitude is 1 volt. So what will be the modulation index? So you know that if you have given with the amplitude of the modulating signal and the amplitude of the carrier signal, you can easily find the modulation index using this formula. The formula is m is equal to, m is basically nothing but the mu, and you know that this m is, let me go back to the slides. This m is the modulation index, or you can call it a mu, and it is equal to this amplitude of modulating signal divided by the amplitude of the carrier signal. So em divided by ec, where em is the modulating signal or the matching signal, and ec is basically the amplitude of the carrier signal. So if you divide this as em, that is 0.5, to this ec, you get 0.5. So the modulation index or the mu turns out to be 0.5. This is a second example in which it is asked us that when the modulation percentage is 75, uh, an AM transmitter radiates 10 kilowatt of power. How much of this how much of this is carrier power? So it is shown us that there is a system, there is a communication system which is based upon the modulation percentage, or you can say the mu or the modulation index, that is about 75%. And if there is a transmitter, you can call it any transmitter, that is an AM transmitter, and it radiates about 10 kilowatt of power. So how much of that 10 kilo power, 10 kilowatt of power is consumed by the carrier? How much of this is carrier power? You know that there are three portions when you talk about this amplitude modulation wave. The first one is the left side band, the right side band, or you can say the lower side band, the upper side band, and there is a center thing that is known as carrier. So how much power of 10 kilowatt, that 10 kilo power is consumed by all of these three things? So the examiner has asked us that how much power does only this carrier, the center thing, acquires or consumes. So you know that we have a formula that is 1 plus m square by 2 into pc. So if you put the values of pt, that is 10 kilowatt, and the value of m is 0.5 0.75, because you know that 75% turns out to be 0.75. And then if you put the values of here and you solve this example, you get the value of pc, that is the carrier power, that is 7.8 into 10 power 3, or you can say 7.8 kilowatt. So you can see that how much we are losing the power just because of this carrier. About If you are using 10 kilowatt of total power, this from this 10 kilowatt, only 7.8 kilowatt is just used by this carrier, which is not very much feasible, and this carrier does not has something to do when we are transmitting our data. So we do not want our power to be lost because of this huge you can say disadvantage or loss, or at the cost of this power. We don't want our communication system to work. So in the coming lecture, inshallah, in the next lecture, we will be talking about the suppressed carrier techniques, that how you can nullify the effect of this carrier, so that you will be able to understand that how you can consume power and make your how you can reduce the power consumption, and how you can make your system more energy efficient. Let's go towards the next example. Let's suppose that there is a AM transmitter that is radiating with a power of 20 kilowatt, and if the modular index is 0.7, or you can say 70%, what should be the carrier power? You know that it is a huge power consumption, and you can say power loss in AM transmitter because of this carrier, because this carrier is transmitting itself alone, which is not a very good thing. So we want to calculate this carrier power about from this 20 kilowatt of power when the modulation index is 0.7. So we will use again the same formula, that PT is equal to the total power will be equal to 1 plus m square by 2 into a PC, that is the power of carrier. So if you divide this 1 plus m square by 2 on this left hand side, you will get PC is equal to PT divided by 1 plus m square divided by 2. I'm sorry for this jumble order. I will highly prefer you to use this file from the PDF that is on the portal. There is a the formatting is slightly disturbed. So when you put the values of this PT and m square, that is 0.7 of m square, and PT is equal to 20 kilowatt, that is 20 into 10 power 3. So you get the value of 16.064 kilowatt. So you see that out of this 20 kilowatt of total power consumed by the any AM transmitter, only 16.064 is there for the carrier, and the remaining power, that is about 4 kilowatt power, that is only used by or consumed by the actual message. So it is not a very good thing which is there when we talk about something like energy efficiency and minimum energy consumption and optimization of energy. So for AM signal, energy is a big loss when you are using double side bandwidth, there when there is also a carrier, because most of the power is consumed by the carrier. About 70 or 80 or even 90% of the power is consumed just by the carrier. So let's talk about another example. I will be doing about 7 to 8 examples, and also we will be discussing some other features, some of the examples of AM in the class as well. So you have to be patient, and you have to get paper and as well as a page, sorry, a pen, so that you can practice it more and more. And I will highly recommend if you use some examples from the book as well. I have already provided you the book in the soft form. So it will be very much good if you try to solve as much examples as possible from the book, from the examples section, or as well as from the numerical section that is provided in the last of the chapter, in the you can see exercise of this that chapter. So coming back to our topic, our numerical, the total power content of an AM signal is 1000 watt, or you can say the 1 kilowatt. So we have to determine the power being transmitted at the carrier frequency and each side bands when the modulation percentage is 100. So we have to formulate these things when the power consumption is 1 kilowatt, or you can say 1000 watts. So the examiner has asked that what are the percentages that are used, how much power from this 1000 watt or 1 kilowatt is divided in the sidebands, and how much there is for the carrier. So first of all, the first thing we do is we find the power used by the carrier. So you can see that out of that 1000 watt, if you use the same formula, that is pt, power transmitted total, is equal to 1 plus index divided by 2, index square divided by 2, into pc. And you, if you solve this value for the pc, you will get the value of pc as 66.67 watt. That is about 67 or 66% of the power is consumed just from this uh, carrier. So let's talk about the other remaining power, that is about how much the power is used by the other sidebands. So there are two sideband, you know that, and the first one is upper sideband, the second one is lower sideband. And the formula to, and the both power of both for both are equal. So the formula for that is m square by 4 into pc. So if you multiply this thing, m square by 4 into pc, you will get the value of 166.67. It means that there was 1000 watt of power at the total, and out of that 1000 watt, only 666.67 watts are consumed by the carrier, which is not useful for you. And the remaining energy, or you can say power, was consumed by the upper side band and lower side band with the equal amount of 166.67 watt. So the 1000 watt was divided in the way that we just discussed. Let's go to another example. There is a, let's say, a 500 watt, that is one, there's a 500 watt and one that is operating at 100 kilohertz frequency carrier, and this is modulated at the depth of 60%, or you can say the modulation index, or mu or m, is 0.6 by the modulating frequency of 1 kilohertz. We have to calculate the total power and the sideband components of that am wave. So the total power is pc is equal to the power of the carrier is equal to 500 watt, and the frequency of that carrier is 100 kilohertz, and m is equal to 0.6, or you can say 60%. The frequency of modulating signal is 1 kilohertz, and we have to find the total power, as well as, so we have to find the total power and the sidebands power. So the total power will be the same, the for you will be using the same formula. pt is equal to 1 plus m squared by 2 into pc. So if you put the values of m square and pc in this equation, you get the total power, and the total power turns out to be 590. So the power consumed will be 590, and we know that the how much the frequency will be there. So the frequency of upper side band will be fc is equal to f c fusb is equal to, that is f upper side band, that is equal to fc plus fm, you know that, and f lsb is equal to fc minus fm. So if you put the values of fc and fm in these equations, you get the frequencies of these equation. That frequency will be the fusb will be 101 kilohertz, and FLSB will be 99, because the value of FC is 100 and the value of FM is 1. It is given in the question that the frequencies of these are 100 and 1 respectively. So let's go to another example. I think this is the last example. No, there are 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 more examples. See, I have told you that I have provided to you as much examples as possible. So let's talk about this example. So there is a 400 watt 1 megahertz carrier, and it is a amplitude modulated with a sinusoidal signal of 2.5 kilohertz. The depth of the modulation is 75, that is the modulation index is 0.75. We have to calculate the sideband frequencies, the bandwidth, and the power in the sidebands and the total power in the modulated wave. So this is a comprehensive example in which there is a lot of data which has been given to us, and there is a lot of data which has been asked from us. So the first thing we do is basically we can find the frequencies of the upper sideband and the lower sideband. By using the formula, fc is equal to fusb is equal to fc plus m, fm, and flsb is equal to fc minus fm. So if you use the same formula, you will get the frequencies of the upper sideband and the lower sidebands, which turns out to be 1002.5 kilohertz and 997.5 kilohertz respectively for the upper sideband and for the lower sideband. So the next thing is basically the bandwidth. So you know that the bandwidth is twice of the maximum bandwidth. So the maximum bandwidth was 2.5 kilohertz. That was the message signal. Sorry, frequency of the message signal 2.5 kilohertz. So the bandwidth will be 5 kilohertz, twice of that. Now, if you want to, excuse me. Now, if you want to calculate the total power, you can use a formula 1 plus a PT is equal to 1 plus m square by 2 into PC. And if you put the value of this m as 0 0.7 and PC which is 400 over here, you can calculate the total power, and the total power turns out to be 512.5 watts. And if you want to find the power in the upper sideband and lower sideband, you know the formula. These are equal, and this is equal to m square by 4 into PC, and if you put the value, you get 56.25. So this next example is much more of interest, because it has already provided the values of the power consumption of the carrier and the frequency of the carrier, and it has asked us the calculate the it has asked us to find the bandwidth and powers in the sidebands and the total power transmitted. You see that these are the same formulas which are repeating again and again in different formats. So I leave this example to you. Now we have to this is a bit unique example, and it is of very much of different angle, different perspective. So we have to calculate the percentage power saving when one sideband and carrier is suppressed in an AM signal with a modulation index that is equal to 1. So let's say there was a total of, let's say, 100 watt, and you know that out of that 100 watt, 70 or 80% was lost because of that carrier and the extra sideband. So the question is, the examiner asks is something like that: how much power we will be saving when we suppress, we neglect, or you can say deduct that extra carrier and that extra sideband? How much power we are going to save? How much power saved will be saved? The consumption will be less. How much consumption will be reduced by suppressing this carrier as well as one sideband when the modulation index is 1? So you know that this PT is equal to 1 plus m square by 2 into PC, or you can say if m square is equal to 1, so the value will be 3 by 2 into PC. Now you know that the power of suppressed carrier, the total power is basically the power of carrier plus power of upper sideband plus power of lower sideband. And if you suppress the carrier as well as one sideband, you will be getting a P suppressed is equal to a PC plus a PLSB. So P suppressed is equal to PC plus, if you exchange the values and you find this, we will be solving this example in the class as well. So it turns out to be 4 by 3 PC, it's into something into 10. So if you multiply and convert this into percentage, you get the value of 83.3%. It means that you will be saving about 83% of the power. uh, let's say if your power consumption was 100, now your power consumption will be only 17 watts. So you see that there is a lot of difference in power consumption you can basically reduce much power consumption in this AM when you suppress the carrier as well as one sideband. So about 83% of the power will be reduced. Condition to that the modulation index is 1. Similarly, if you increase the modulation index, reduce it by 50%, or you can say the modulation index is turned out to be 0.5, you see that the power consumption, the reduction in the amount of power consumption will be 94.4%. It means that you will be saving about 94% of the power. It means that if you was sending 100 watts of power, now you have to send only 5 watts of power. So the amount of power will be that will be saved will be 94.4%, which is a huge amount. You know that you can not rely on such devices which consume which waste your 90% or 95% of power. So that will be saved when you basically reduce this suppress this one sideband and a carrier. So this is another example. I will leave it to you, and we will also discuss that in class. These are the same things in the different perspective. This is your assignment, you can say, and these are some examples for your practice. We will be discussing that in the class, inshallah. So I hope that you will be practicing these examples in the and we will be discussing that in the class as well. If you have any questions regarding this lecture, I will highly appreciate to bring that in the class and discuss it with me in front of all the class, so that other people also understand what their confusions are. Because mostly students hesitate to ask questions, and you know that I am very much I highly appreciate when you ask questions, because I believe in that the more you ask, the more you learn. I'll see you in the class. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.